why does Israel have to play by a different set of rules? Why can't they play like Syria plays? You want to behave like Syria? I mean, it's like, sure, we can fight the way the Sunni insurgency fights in Iraq, but is that who you want to be? I mean, it's about self-conception, and it's about holding yourself to a higher standard of morality than your enemy is holding you. So I hope not. I mean, and I think that to answer the broader point about is there a tipping point? Is this side going to win in the Middle East? The fundamentalists. The most pro-American population in the Middle East, apart from Israel's, is Iran's. And that's what 30 years or so of Muslim fundamentalist rule will do to a population. And so the hard truth is that the Sunni Arab world, which is still under the control mostly of dictators who are like the Shah to varying degrees. I mean, you have some enlightened monarchs like Abdullah in Jordan. You have some pretty repressive guys like Mubarak in Egypt. Those countries, if you had democratic elections tomorrow, would probably vote in the Islamists. There's this hope that the best inoculation against Islamism is Islamism, that 10 or 20 or 30 years under Islamist rule will convince people that this is not the way to go. Of course, we're still waiting for the Iranian people to throw off the mullahs. It's not so easy. And so what we might be facing now is a period of 30 or 40 or 50 years in which Islamism has to burn itself out. And sometimes the way it burns itself out is by being successful. One hopes that the people of the Gaza Strip who are living now under this repressive Hamas rule, where Hamas now is forcing Christian Palestinians, there are about 3,500 Christian Palestinians in Gaza, they're forcing them to convert to Islam. I mean, it's Taliban stuff going on there. One hopes that they'll be able to look at the West Bank under secular control, more or less, and say, you know what, these Hamas guys, this is not a good idea, and we got to get rid of them. But we're not there's no quick solution to this, because people are going to have to learn for themselves. And ultimately, I mean, the last 4 years proves this, I think. America has a very limited ability to convince Muslims to do things that Muslims don't want to do. Muslims look at our society as inferior, for one thing. They're an ancient civilization. We're some new brash materialists, some infidels in the law. It's not so we can't influence this. It is a fight that is taking place inside Islam. There are things we could do to help the side of people who are modern rather than medieval. But this is just a long-term, ugly process that we're going to be watching, and we'll be watching it for the next 20 or 30 years.